I'm going to join the Gymshark66 challenge. It's a challenge to commit to 66 days of positive change, whether this be fitness, nutrition, or mental health. Sauna time.
It's the 3rd of January.
Oh, mate.
No, I'm going to do it. You're doing better than me.
I don't know if you can see the steam off of me.
It's cold. Our first bit of proper healthy, well, not proper food, but
Better than
more normal food. So that's the first carnivore food shop of the year done. Day 1 starts tomorrow. It's time for the first gym workout of 2025. First workout, 2025. First workout since the start of skate season, which was the 14th of November. So it's been a while. This is going to be a random workout just to not die. Carnivore meal numero uno. So today has actually been the first day this year of like normal routine and back to work. And one thing we do want to incorporate into our routine this year is doing an ice bath more. The other thing we also want to start incorporating is stretching. So the plan is ice bath, shower, bit of food, gym, stretching, dinner, or dinner stretching. I don't know yet. Whew. That's the first one done. Fingers crossed it stays. Or we regret it after today and never do it again. So day 2 carnivore. Yesterday, totally fine. 28 more to go, I guess. Another day, another ice bath. We are now 8 days into the new year, 4 days into carnivore, and 3 days back into our normal routine. And everything so far has actually been fine. I will be honest, we didn't do the ice bath today, but when you've been in the rain and then ultimately the snow all day, you felt like we've been in an ice bath all day, so calling it quits today is fair enough. We're still gonna go smash out the gym. It's chest day today, do our stretches, which we've been doing for the past few days, dinner, everything else as normal, so it's all fine. We are day 11 out of 66, day 7 out of 30 for carnivore, and today was the first proper check-in. And compared to last week, everything is looking great. We are 2.4 kilograms down. We are back to the pre-holiday season weight, which is fantastic. We are down 1.5% body fat, up 0.4% muscle, and my visceral fat has dropped back down and is now back at 3. So everything is literally going great. Looking at myself this morning and taking the check-in photos and videos, I am really happy, I am pleased. But now becomes a fun part because we've done 7 days previously. I've done 7 days of carnivore before. So now everything moving forward, I've not actually done, which is kind of exciting to see what happens, because that's the one of the reasons why I wanted to do carnivore for 30 days is I saw what it did for a week and I was like, wow, like that's incredible. If that can happen in a week, what's going to happen in 30 days? So the plan currently in my head is we do these 30 days of carnivore, assess where we're at, and most likely then drop into a calorie deficit, because at the moment I'm not tracking anything. I don't know what I'm eating. I know for sure there will be some cheat days in there, like Valentine's Day. Like we finish carnivore on the 3rd of Feb. Valentine's Day is the 14th of Feb. I know there's already plans about going out for a meal that day, and that is going to be a cheat day. I'm hands down. I'm going to say I'm going to eat some rubbish that day, but we're enjoying ourselves. We still have the moderation and enjoyment, because what would life be if you couldn't enjoy it? Anyway, so that is future Molly's problem that I'll probably be talking to you about when that time comes. But let's roll on the next 23 days of carnivore. Let's roll on the next 55 days of Gymshark66. Oh wow, yeah, that is a line. We haven't actually done a gym session today. There might have been a slight change in plans. I might have bought a bike. Didn't intend to when I woke up this morning, but yay. And that was the first 5 minutes in the ice bath of the year. Done. So just done legs, and that was an interesting session. Clearly my body is just going for a lot, literally end of squats. I mean, I was doing squats and they were hurting because we were pushing the weights and stuff, and literally I just felt like I was gonna break down and cry. I don't know why, I felt completely fine. But obviously just everything running through my body, obviously second week back at work, second week at the gym, second week on Carnivore now. So I just imagine it's just massive build up. Otherwise, legs was good, they hurt now. We're already planning on going on the bikes again, especially because I got the new one. So they're gonna be fun.
Good.
The shop looks a little bit different this week. Dan is having his last day of Carnivore today, so he's having a bit of fruit and veg next week. So today's weigh-in, neither good nor bad I guess. Weight was down by 0.3, body fat was up 0.5, muscle was down 0.5, which isn't great. That's what annoys me, is the body composition has changed the wrong way. But obviously I have lost weight. Now I'm surprised not as much weight's lost this week, but at the same time I haven't felt like I've lost any weight this week. But I've got to remember that the body is changing, and given my comments last night while doing squats, my body's obviously gone through a lot this week, whether or not I've realised it. So yeah, we've got literally day 15 tomorrow for Carnivore. We're now day 18 into the whole 66, so it's just interesting to see how this all goes out.
Got a little camera.
This is probably solely partly a lighting thing right now, but yeah. I'm literally about to have the strangest breakfast in the world right now. Well, we only have this much yogurt left, like there's nothing in there. And then just some cheese. I'm sure it'll be fine, it'll be nice. It's just weird. Today I thought I'd just try a few bodyweight movements, see where I'm at with them. It's something I want to improve, but we've not had a chance to actually hit them yet this year. And I don't actually know the last time I also hit them. So I just tested like my PBs. Well, not PBs, well they're PBs because they're literally as many as I could have just done. They're not any, there's no new PBs, and I don't think it's probably the most ideal time of year to be testing PBs with having had the time off. We're only like 3 weeks into year, sorry I'm out of breath. Just done push-ups, Jesus. I've just realised it's day 19 of Carnivore, 11 days left. I was just about to sit down and edit an ice bath video, which is already out, so go ahead, check it out. And I realised I've not actually done like an update for a while. I think that's purely because it's going fine. There's been times where I'm looking at myself and I'm going, wow, I'm seeing muscles that I haven't seen before, or I'm noticing that, okay, I don't necessarily feel as if I'm like losing weight, but I definitely can feel like I'm changing in body composition. But then again, at the same time, this morning I felt a little bit like blah. But in terms of the actual diet and the eating, like, yeah, it's all okay. So Dan stopped at 2 weeks. He did 14 days and then that was it. She was really proud about, and I'm proud of him for doing. Easy. I feel like I may potentially be eating too much dairy, but
I do need to say.
well, today's leg session went a lot better than last week's leg session. Didn't feel like I was going to cry, though I have this twinge sort of thing in the bottom of my back, which after doing squats I have slightly felt, so I will just keep an eye on it, it should be fine. But the rest of it, all okay. So yeah, it's now day 25 out of 66 and day 21 out of 30 for Carnivore. And today's weigh-in, well, I don't know. This week we're basically up the 0.3 we lost last week, so we're literally back at the same weight we were the week before. and then body fat has actually stayed exactly the same, and muscle has gone up by 0.1, which in a sense, that body composition isn't bad. But comparing that to when I was the same weight the week before, my body fat's up and my muscle's down. Otherwise, everything else seems okay. Strength in the gym is all going in the right direction. That's all going up and improving just how I'd want it. It just seems to be the scale that's sort of different, which is frustrating. I have a packet of internal duck things.
Yeah, we are.
That was inside the bird.
That's not.
As you might be able to tell, I've never cooked a whole bird before. I just hope it tastes nice, really. The aftermath.
I'm not gonna eat it.
So, an update in terms of how are things going. Food-wise, Carnivore is still going good. Workout today was, I mean, all the numbers were great-ish, but it just felt bad. 5 days left after tonight with Carnivore, and then I want to say it's around like, it is like a halfway point. I think there's like 32 days left of the 66 at that point. So, well, not done an ice bath for a few days now, just happened to be that way. And actually, that went a lot better than I thought. It felt like it was going to be quite cold to begin with. It took me about like 20-25 breaths to sort of get into it. Not my longest, not my shortest, but when I asked how long I've been there for, it was a lot better than I had anticipated, so that's always a win. It's day 32 now, and day 28 of Carnivore, and I've just done weighing. Quite honestly, I feel like, is it been worth it? But that is how I'm feeling right now. Is it worth this 30 days? Obviously, I'm going to last it out literally 3 more days. Like, I'm not going to quit, but there's a definite feeling of, have I just wasted 30 days? Could I have been doing something else? Body weight was up 0.7 kilos. Body fat was up 0.2, muscle was up 0.1, which isn't terrible. And then the one that confuses me the most and I'm annoyed about is the fact that my visceral fat's gone up. And I'm not one where my visceral fat doesn't fluctuate really. And I mean, even checking photos, like, I just feel a bit podgy, I feel squishy. I don't feel tight, I don't feel lean, which is what I feel like I should be feeling like on this diet. At the same time, my sleep recently has not been great. The past 2 nights, I've not fallen asleep till 2 AM. Granted, the sleep that I've then had, the sleep has been fine, the sleep has been great, but it's frustrating. And like I say, it makes me feel like I should have just been doing a calorie deficit or something else for the past 30 days. I can't all be negative. I've got to remember the positives, because everything in the gym right now is great. But yeah, so Monday is going to be the last Carnivore day, and I'll do a final like check-in Tuesday morning of what all Carnivore results are. And then I think it's hit a calorie deficit, but it's not going to be perfect every single day, and I know that because we've got a few things happening. But for today's check-in, I think that's it. Yeah, so we bought a lot more fruit and veg this week. Try and transition a bit more on animal base, get some more of that in. So obviously, really, protein's a priority, and then everything else is just kind of added extras. Though the fridge is going to have a little bit of what I like to call fridge Tetris to get it all in. So that's going to be fun. Are you excited for the bike ride? It's Monday morning, literally 8:10, and we're going to do one now. It's the last day of Carnivore today. I've just gotten out of a 3-minute long ice bath. Not too long, not too short, I suppose. And it'll be interesting to just see how the final last day goes with final check-in tomorrow. We've had what I like to call a very successful gym session, and I'd say deadlifts are ripping out what I want to call big boy weights. By big boy weights, it's only like 80 kilos, but 3 sets of 10. So I'd say that is pretty good.
Last Carnivore meal, eat it off the bone. Though it definitely won't be the last time that we eat these.
Of the before and after of 30 days on Carnivore. Day 0 versus day 31. And if you are interested in the stats, they are as followed. In terms of weight, I lost 2.9 kilograms. My body fat only dropped by 0.1%. My muscle dropped by 0.7%. And my visceral fat dropped by 1%. So the final check-in, the final check-in. Now, I was relieved when I did that final check-in compared to the check-in a few days prior. The weight had gone down, my visceral fat had gone down. Okay, the body composition has not done what I wanted it to do. If anything, it has done the opposite, and I'm actually technically in a worse place now than I was when I started.
That's one way to end the carnivore diet. Berries, eggs, chocolate, cinnamon, nutmeg, milk.
So it's now day 2 of calorie deficit, and literally just woken up this morning, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm liking the looks of things already. We've only done 1 day of deficit at the moment, and that was completely fine. We smashed everything, all the macros were pretty much how they should be, calories was fine, and yeah, I've woken up this morning, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm going, this is looking good already, and it's only been a deficit for 1 day. So life has been life, and I will be honest, we've missed the past 2 workouts, so the goal is today to do 2 workouts, so we're off to do our first one now, and we'll do our second one this evening at some point. Workout 2 of the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's that time of the week again, time for another check-in, and actually it's literally coming up to about 8:30 in the evening now, so it's a little bit late. It's just been a bit of a busy day. We had work today, so this morning's check-in was quite quick. Now, obviously, when it comes to this check-in, I have 2 figures to compare to. I have last week's stats, the last Saturday's stats, and then Tuesday's stats from when I finished Carnivore. And depending on which ones you compare, you can take different viewpoints from. So I will say the 2 different stats. I will say though, however, I am pretty content with today's check-in. I wasn't expecting anything really to happen. However, looking at the stats, compared to last Saturday, we are down 0.2 of a kilo. However, compared to the end of Carnivore, we are actually up 0.6 of a kilo. So either Tuesday morning was a fluke, or I don't really know how to compare the 2. When it comes to body fat, however, compared to last Saturday, we are down 0.3, which is great, and actually, other than the second weigh-in of the year, this is now my lowest body fat, so that's cool. And so compared to the end of Carnivore, I'm actually down a percentage. So like I say, when you start to look at the body composition, this week is looking better than it did on Tuesday, but weight-wise, Tuesday's looking better. And then when it comes to muscle mass, we're actually up 0.2 compared to Saturday, which is obviously in the right direction, and up a percentage compared to Tuesday. Again, visceral fat is the same as Tuesday and down 1 from Saturday. So like I say, all in all, it's not terrible. The body okay, so I might be heavier than I was on Tuesday, but the body composition is actually in the direction that I want it to be. My body fat's gone down and my muscle's gone up. Ultimately now there's a few things coming up where it's like, oh, we've got this, and now we've got this, and we've got this meal, and we've got that meal. So it is kind of a bit frustrating because it's like I just want to kind of eat solidly clean, but at the same time, for the mental side of things, I also want to enjoy and have that moderation and enjoy these times out and not have to think about, oh no, I'm not doing well. So as long as I'm sticking to it the rest of the time, if I cheat a little bit, that's okay. Sometimes they say that that is better. Obviously, it's not saying go all out crazy on the weekend, because I do not pledge for that, because you're destroying all your progress you make in a week. But if you just mindfully, you know, go around it, go, okay, right, that's going to be the point in time where things are going to go off, or okay, we've got this meal today, so I'll be cautious with everything else I eat that day. Just little things like that, and just not get on track. But yeah, that's it for today's check-in.
Come on, the boys.
So yes, today has been a bit of what you like to call a cheat day, and it's the first one since basically the end of the holidays, so I'm not mad. Obviously, I can tell I've eaten some food that's not great and things like this, but it has been a really nice day. It is a half and half thing. You need to be able to find a nice balance. I think that's the key. It's find a balance between being healthy and both physically and mentally. So whether that be having them cheat meals and stuff like this, but you know, it's one of them. It's strange and everybody's got different opinions on it, and I can't quite figure out how to word my opinions on it in a way that I don't almost want to offend anybody, I feel like, because I feel like by saying, oh, you need to be healthy to enjoy life, someone's going to get offended at that. Because I think no matter what you say, someone's going to get offended somewhere in the world, and I think that's just life. The same way life gets in the way, and sometimes you have to have cheat meals and cheat days. I say have to, it's by choice, but for mental well-being, sometimes it's have to. I'm not gonna lie, I am actually already cold, so
Yeah, so am
I'm slightly dreading this. You dread it, get in the mindset and do it.
Right.
Dan, that doesn't fill me with confidence.
oh, Jesus.
Dan, we're just cooking some lunch right now, some pork mince and eggs. Gonna split that between me and Dan. And I just want to say, like, I posted the carnivore video, and I mean, it's been getting a ton of support. Like, honestly, it's like incredible. And like, I've been loving it, and everybody's been really kind in the comments, and also giving like their stories and their advice. And one thing I've definitely found out from that is I definitely was consuming a little bit too much dairy. That's the general consensus. I mean, I was thinking that anyway myself, but it kind of seems as though, yeah, I probably was having a bit too much dairy from what people are saying. But like, the support on that video has been amazing. So if you have watched that video, if you have seen it and you have been supporting it, like, thank you so much. Like, honestly, it means so much.
Turning into a mutant.
Recently, doing ice baths, the thought of doing them was just a bit like, oh, really? Are we going to do them? I think just where we've been a bit out of routine and stuff like that. It's nice to do them, and I'm glad we do them when we do them, but... So, another weighing day, and a successful one at that. We are down 0.9 kilograms, which is great. We're down 0.8% for body fat, and we're up 0.3% for muscle, so everything is literally moving in the correct direction this week, and it's all great. Because like I said, we cheated last Sunday, and we've got literally booked for this evening for Valentine's. We've got an all-you-can-eat, so that's going to be fun and it's enjoyable. But I'm glad to see that my consistency throughout the week isn't getting affected. It's frustrating mentally, but I've also got to remember that the 66 days, it isn't all about a crazy body transformation. It's 66 days of positive change, which I think can incorporate having, you know, cheat meals and celebrations, because I think it's a positive thing to not get yourself trapped in this headspace of you can never have this, you can't have that. So, but otherwise, you know, strength in the gym, that is still going amazing. My legs absolutely hurt still from Thursday, so did Dan, so that's, I suppose, a good thing. But yeah, everything in the gym is going great. Obviously weighing today also went great, so we can't really be asking for much better. That's this week's check-in, over and out. You have it, we just got back from a successful just a little 8-mile bike ride, bit off-roady, traily sort of stuff like always. I do feel like I should point out, there isn't actually jammy dodgers in this. This is actually just onions. Yeah, I feel like that should be clarified. So, the other day, things weren't great, at least mentally, I suppose physically as well. I sort of messed up. So, we worked Monday, Tuesday, but at work, we'd been bought lunch at work, which wasn't great. Like, as in, it's nice because it's not a thing that happens often, but the food itself was bad. And then training on Tuesday, despite, you know, all the stats being the same or better, you know, they were all fine. The workout itself just felt horrible, like my body just felt terrible. Thing was, in my head, I was like, I've got at least a solid week before the next like bad thing was gonna happen, especially because I'm documenting these 66 days for Gymshark66. It's making me go, well, is it gonna be worth it? Like, I know the whole point of this isn't to have some crazy big transformation at the end of it. It's 66 days of positive change and just creating habits and things like this. But there's an element where I'm like, well, you know, if I don't have anything crazy or cool come out at the end of it, well, is anybody gonna care? I also know that I'm not just using this 66 days to do a transformation. I mean, the first 30 days were carnivore, you know. if I didn't do that and I did what I'm doing now, then it probably would have been a lot different. You know, like I want this and I want my channel and everything that I do to be a way to inspire and help people. And I just want to share my knowledge and be raw and be, you know, open and hopefully relatable and stuff like this. But I suppose at the same time, I always question, am I good enough? I hope you do. Anybody sat there still in this video, I don't even know how long this video is yet. I feel like I need to already start editing. So if you are still around in this video, hello. I do really appreciate you watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and support. So it was another quick weigh-in this morning. Up 0.7 kilograms, up 1.2% body fat and down 0.6% muscle. Now, honestly, it doesn't surprise me. I'm not actually that fussed about it. This week was just one of them weeks, and this coming week is going to be very similar, or at least after next weigh-in. So I'm just trying to stay as good as I can the rest of the time. So it's just one of them. So today's weigh-in didn't really annoy me too much because I was kind of expecting it. I also kind of slightly did my back in, I think, doing deadlift on Tuesday, so, or do at least back day on Tuesday. So this is one of them. We couldn't do legs last night, kind of as a result because I was in pain, but hopefully that heals very quickly. But yeah, so it was an interesting weigh-in. But like I say, I'm not that fussed about it. I knew that was going to be the case. It was just one of them weeks, and that's sometimes just what it is. That is life. But I think the way we got to be positive about it is to go accept that and understand that that's the case, and that sometimes that is life. So yeah, it's one of them. So I'm not hating it. It's not great, but it's okay. It's now life, it's routines, it's habits, and everything's just like slowly fitting in and adjusting and coming to terms. A loop of a walk. So we're getting closer and closer to the final weigh-in, final check-in, and the end of 66 days. We are literally like a week out now. Well, we finish on Friday, today's Saturday. And so I always do my photos before I do the actual weigh-in. And I've got to tell you, if the scales didn't go down, I would have been extremely annoyed because I felt good. But I can confirm, we are the lightest weight that we have been this year. It's not my lightest weight ever, lightest weight this year. From last week, we're down 1.6 kilograms. Now, obviously, we've got to remember, last week we had a Valentine's meal and we weren't very good at work at the start of that week. So that weigh-in in itself was potentially almost corrupted, but it doesn't matter. We had a birthday this week and we're still down, so that is great. The body fat was down 1.4% and the muscle was up 0.5%. Now, it's not quite my highest muscle, but literally by 0.1%, so we're doing quite good for that. That is this year. It's not my highest muscle in general, and again, my body fat is not my lowest. And actually, just looking back now, I'm practically the way I was before we went on our cruise last year, which we went on at the start of September. So that is actually really good, because before the cruise, in July I did protein sparing modified fasting for 3 weeks, and then the next 3 weeks I didn't really track, I didn't do anything, but we had a few situations within that. Like, we had our anniversary, we had like a big cheat day, I think we might have had a birthday, I can't fully remember. And so then I went back up to like a maintenance weight, and that's kind of what I was before the cruise. I'm literally like 0.1 kilo difference between now and before the cruise, so that's kind of quite good, and it's basically the last time that I was this weight, so that is actually really cool to look back at. We've got a birthday party today, gonna cycle, play some football, and then we will be eating some pizza, which I know isn't good, but pizza. But tomorrow we are gonna go to a bike park, and so I'm definitely gonna get clips of that for this, and just for like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that in shorts, so keep an eye out for them as they come out. And so it's been a very good week. I'm feeling good, looking good-ish. I'm joking. So we're definitely feeling it from bike rides on Sunday still, or at least I am, and also just dead from work as well. Like, we'd missed the workout last night, now we could hopefully, fingers crossed, we'd fit 2 workouts in today. But yeah, I am feeling it a little bit in this workout. Deadlifts have been a little bit lighter today, but everything else so far has actually been the same weight, so that's all good. Only like 3 days left now, 66, so interesting to see what happens these next few days. Not much, I suspect, like not much will probably change, but just been nice kind of vlogging it all, really.
I think actually a successful bowl of protein popcorn.
So it's officially day 66. So today's check-in, I will be honest, hasn't quite gone the way I thought it was going to, but normally we check in on a Saturday, today's Friday, so that might have an effect. And we did a heavy leg session yesterday, and so I think that has also probably affected it with a bit of water retention just in the whole body as a whole, because my legs really hurt. That aside, I'll tell you the comparison from this week's stats and last week's stats. But like I say, I do feel like tomorrow's stats may be a bit more reflective on a better journey. But today's day 66. It is what it is. That is life. So in terms of body weight, we're actually at 1.4 kilograms this week, which is very strange to me. Like I say, this is where I think this heavy leg session yesterday might have had an effect. I don't feel like I should be up at least that much. Fair enough if I was up a little bit, but maybe not that much. In turn, it's meant the body fat has gone up by 0.8 and my muscle has actually dropped by 0.2. But it is frustrating, but I'm not kind of annoyed at it knowing tomorrow's my actual normal check-in day and all of that. So it's slightly annoying because the stats are actually pretty much nearly exactly the same as the second check-in, which is kind of annoying because you do look at me and I've looked at the comparison photos and I see a difference. It's nothing crazy, don't get me wrong, there's no crazy transformation. For the purpose of the whole Gymshark66, that is the final stats for today. So without further ado, here is technically day 4 versus day 66. Now I know this isn't anything drastically crazy, but I do think that is kind of the reality of it. That is life. Nothing's going to happen really, really quickly. But we also started out the year with 30 days of carnivore. So there's an element where if I didn't do that, or if I did that with less dairy, would this point be different now? But that being said, I am really happy with everything so far. You know, yes, there's been ups, there's been downs, but we pushed on through. The strength, like I say, in the gym every single week, strength in the gym is getting better. And the fact that I'm in a calorie deficit and still gaining strength is amazing. I'm not losing, as much weight as probably I would like, but at the same time, I know the past few weeks have been thrown around with different events and things like this, and so I'm kind of looking forward for ultimately the next few weeks to be much cleaner. Overall, these 66 days have been great. You know, they've continued to keep to our healthy lifestyle, you know, find that little bit of balance. You know, we've started doing our stretching. Granted, the ice baths have taken a hit, but I've still been doing cold showers, so it's not like we haven't been doing them. We've been very consistent with our training. We've been out on the bikes, like I don't know how many times. So, you know, I think the whole building these habits, creating lifestyles, you know, that is all been made, and honestly, that is just continued to be what I'm gonna do, continuing a healthy lifestyle and sharing that journey with you guys and the ups and downs of it all, because it's not all highs and there are lows, in which you have seen in this video itself. So if you have enjoyed following me along for these 66 days, please subscribe, please share, please hit like, all of that. Let me know if you tried 66 in the comments below and what was your experience, how did you find it? I'm just hoping that I can help people with my knowledge, inspire people, and just show that, okay, not everything is glitz and glam, and we all come from different backgrounds and different places and different starting points, but we've all got the same goal at the end of the day. We want to have a healthier lifestyle. I know my 66-day transformation isn't crazy, like I said before, but I just have a feeling that this year is just going to be different. Something big and better is going to happen, and I just can't wait to find out truly what that is. So it's going to be fun. But for now, I shall leave this video because I know it is quite long. Like I say, I hope you have enjoyed. Remember to join that Dino Squad, and I'll see you next time. Bye.